Next thing I know, I'm jumping out a shorty window in front of a bus stop full of people, son.
Yo, y'all should do a podcast for real.
Yo, but like, what would we call the podcast though?
Boy, I don't even know, but it got to be something that represents us. Look, man. So here's the thing. 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 Yeah. We here. We back for another one.
Absolutely, absolutely. Your boy is back in town.
Yes, sir. 2 is back. It's episode 72. This is the Jason Capono episode. I don't know if y'all know about Jason Capono, sharpshooter.
Leave it to Dre.
Sharpshooter from the Philadelphia 76ers from back in the day. But yeah, we here. How you feeling, man? How you feeling, JP? 2? You good? How's your weekend,
I'm alive, man? I'm alive, man. You know, did a lot of work. Got a lot of stuff done for the pod. New t-shirt merch will be out at the end of the week.
Okay.
You know,
looking forward to it. Yeah. Viewers, listeners, today's a monumental day.
Absolutely.
You know, following the trend of one of us not being here, we got me and 2 here today. Stiz ain't here, which is something that doesn't happen. Very rare.
I've been waiting for this.
Yeah, me too, actually.
Because I need the viewers to understand that he don't be here sometimes too. It's just that since he got the camera, when he ain't here, we just don't record.
Yeah. They've been friends for longer. I'm just still running with the fact that I think we his only 2 friends. I'm gonna just go with that. Yeah,
close.
But yeah, man, enjoy your time off. We got you covered.
Facts. We gonna hold it down in your absence. He'll be here next episode though.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if I'll be here next episode, but we'll see.
Dre won't be here next episode.
But yeah, man, my weekend was cool. I'm feeling good, man. Just got back from Atlanta. That was cool. But you know, I'm starting to talk about like things that I've been observing lately, stuff that I've been going on in my life. So took some observations at the airport. Want to kind of talk about airport etiquette.
Interesting.
A little bit.
Down.
Just something that I observed. So, 2. Pretty sure you've been on many vacations. Pretty sure you've been out of town a lot of time. Couple vacations and stuff like that.
Quite a few.
Okay. What's your role in the airport as a man? Like, what's some steps that you take without even like thinking and stuff like that? Like,
get us there on time.
Okay.
When it comes to the airport, no offense, ladies, I do not leave y'all in charge of the time. I've been late to many of events because of my shorty, and what I ain't gonna do is miss a flight because of her.
Right.
So I'm very on top of the time in that role. Other than that, like at the airport, like, you know, once we get there, just follow my lead, shorty, and we gonna get through this. Get us through TSA, get us to our gate. And that's it.
So I would imagine that entails like you talking about getting us through TSA and all of that. I would imagine that entails like you taking care of the bags, like.
Well, well, in my last couple of traveling with a woman situations, I've like we had 2 carry-ons, and then we had like one big suitcase with like majority of our stuff, and then we each had a carry-on. So what I did was I took the suitcase and my carry-on, and she had her carry-on. But in most situations, that's what I do. Like, you hold your carry-on and I'll carry the big luggage and my shit.
Right. All right, cool. So I would consider you a stand-up dude, but that's just one thing that I observed while I was at the airport this past time. It was a lot of guys like just kind of like wandering off doing their own thing. I seen a lot of women like carrying heavy luggage and things of that sort, and I noticed that they were with a man. I actually got into like a situation where we was at the desk or whatever, to go through the terminal to get on the plane. And I had a situation where I guess a lady, she was like scrumming through her bag to get her boarding pass or something or whatever, and her man was with her, but she had like this heavy ass bag that you could see she was struggling to like carry, and the guy did nothing. So I kind of like had to step in and be like, hey, like, ma'am, are you okay? Do you need help? Like, do you want me to hold it or whatever? So the guy kind of like caught an attitude and rolled his eyes. But I'm like, son, we was sitting here for a whole 5 to 10 minutes and you didn't say anything. And as that being your woman, I feel like you should have stepped in and held the bag or told her put it down or do something. But he literally just watched her sit there and struggle. And just goes back to, I'm like, yo, men, like, we're like, men ain't shit sometimes. Like, we're losing sight of how it used to be back in the day. Like, I can see how certain women sometimes like get on men a lot because we ain't shit and like chivalry ain't dead and stuff like that. So I just want us to be mindful of like just certain stuff. So certain things that should just be the normal. I feel.
I got 2 things to say about that. You a good dude. You a good dude for that. What I will say is though, you experienced something that I've been going through in my life lately, where I'm learning that doing the right thing sometimes sucks. Like, I'm just trying to be better at doing the right thing, and I realize the right thing sometimes it's the worst. It makes you feel the worst.
Yeah.
Because you could potentially have gotten your ass whooped trying to be nice for this lady in the fucking airport.
Nah, that's a fact.
And it's like, that was the right thing to do, but there could have been negative consequences to doing the right thing.
Right.
Now, with that being said, I want to play devil's advocate a little bit. We're not going to talk about that specific scenario, but you said you witnessed a bunch of women like who had dudes around them, but they were carrying bags or whatever.
Yeah.
What if, like, you know why I don't like to cast judgment on stuff like that? Mm-hmm. It's because it might be a scenario where shorty know, like, yo, my dude got tendonitis in his elbow or something. I don't want him to mess it up even further, so I'm gonna hold the bag.
Yeah. Or
he is hurt or whatever. Like, I'm not saying a man shouldn't do what a man should do. I'm just saying we don't know the circumstances, so that's why I try not to get a little judgy. But in that particular scenario that you were in, I would have done what you did. Yo, shorty, you all right? You need help? Or whatever, and then her man could feel it. Because the other way you could have handled it is probably how I would have more likely handled it. I'd have been like, yo, your girl need help. Because now I put him on the spot. You got to figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like either way, it, like you said, it could have went left because you don't know what's going on in the situation, why the circumstances are the way they are. But that was just kind of like the one that put me over the top, because it was just, again, it was something that I was just observing as I was walking through the terminal. I'm like, oh, they're together, but she's, seems to be struggling, or I've seen guys like walking ahead of their woman and stuff like that. So, I'm just like, just being observant, but again, you don't know what's going on. But it's just something that I wanted to point out, because it's something that I've seen multiple times, like going on trips and stuff like that. Like,
my question to you is are they... All right. See, the thing you just brought up, particularly the walking ahead of the women, it's like, I could view that both ways. Because I could also view that of the guy, like, trying to lead the way for shorty, like, create a path. Like, yo, let me get these people out the way so we could get where we got to go.
Right.
But I also do understand your viewpoint of it's a crowded place. You never know what could happen. Like, walk in front of me just so I can keep an eye on you, make sure you good.
Yeah.
But again, that's the thing that I wouldn't have looked too deep into personally, just because I've been the other person. I've been the one, like, moving and maneuvering through everybody to get us where we gotta go.
Right.
Especially when it's crunch time. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And that's funny. Yeah. Also, we actually did miss our flight because my shorty was stressing the fact that we do have TSA pre-check, which is great. But I was really worried that we was gonna miss the plane. Like, we didn't have to check no bags or nothing like that, but we were just playing it really close. Like, this is the closest. This is like the latest that we've ever arrived to the airport, and we
never leave the
missing
time
it.
into your shorty.
Right.
I don't give a fuck
lesson learned,
what's
bro.
happening when you gotta get on a plane. You never leave the time into her.
That's a fact, bro. That's a lesson learned. Last thing I want to say on this is aside from the men, like just us as a whole. Another thing that pissed me off is so when you're getting off the plane when y'all land and people got to get their bags from the over the top, like stop skipping people that's in front of you in your seats and stuff like that. Like
that irritates me the most.
Yeah, like
my dude, get up based on the row you in.
Exactly.
When it's your row, I hate motherfuckers who stand up and wait for their row to come. Like, bro, we all gotta get off this plane.
Facts. And you gotta go to 9 chances out of 10 you gotta go get your check luggage anyways, and it's not gonna be there most of the time. You're gonna be waiting. So I don't understand the rush, but like if we just use that simple system, I promise you it would run way clearer and probably go faster. But you know, all right. So that was my experience. So
sound like you had some traveling woes recently, brother.
Yeah, man, but it's all good. All right, jumping around a little bit. Like I said, this is continuing from last episode. So this is just a couple random questions that I gathered from like Twitter and this conversations and stuff like that. Have you ever seen a show called Fuckboy Island or F-Boy Island? I mean,
no.
All right, so F-Boy Island is one of them dating reality shows like Love Island is Love Island UK. It's a whole bunch of them, but that's
one of these Netflix Jones.
It's not. It's on HBO Max, but yeah, it's like one of the Netflix joints.
Oh, okay.
So that's like the only one that I watch because I find it interesting and I kind of like the twist in it or whatever, and it's entertaining. I'll tell you what the concept really is because the question is like based off of the concept and kind of like how you would move. So F-Boy Island is 3 ladies. They go to the island looking for love, and obviously there's a whole bunch of male contestants. The male contestants, you can come onto the island claiming to be a nice guy, or you can claim to be a F-boy.
You going to look for love on a show named Fuckboy Island?
Yes.
Okay.
Interesting. I know. So obviously it's a whole bunch of contestants, 14 contestants. Half of them are F-boys, half of them are nice guys. At the end of the show, depending on who the woman picked to be their choice to leave the island, if they pick a F-boy, also there's a prize of $100,000. If they pick a F-boy to leave the island with, because that's the person that they fell in love with, the F-boy now has the choice to either
take the money or keep the girl?
Yeah. He could take the money, all of the money and just scram, or he can take the girl, but you have to split it with her. So you both take $50,000 apiece. Nice guys, if a nice guy gets picked, y'all automatically just split the $50,000 as well. This year, during the second season, the first season it was only that. This season they added a caveat now where if the woman doesn't want to choose anybody, she could just take the money herself and just leave. But that's because girls can now come on the island as a F girl as well. So the girl can claim that she's on the island searching for love when she's really just there as a fuck girl, doing her thing.
I'm gonna be real. I'm never gonna watch this shit, but all right,
it's interesting. But my question to you was, now knowing the rules of the show and everything, what would you come on the island as? Not necessarily like yourself, because you know who you are. I consider you to be a nice guy, but just playing within the game or whatever.
Fuckboy. There's no question. I'm gonna be a fuckboy. I'm gonna get that bread, and as soon as we get to the end, I'm taking the money.
What if you...
My real girl at home. I don't care about this.
What if you actually do fall in love though?
Love though. If I fell in love, that mean I could get you when we leave here. You gotta understand, this is a business decision.
That's a fact.
I'm gonna take you on a little vacation when we get out of here. Chill. I'm up $100,000 right now.
Okay. I probably would go as an F-boy also.
What if you imagine you split this bread with her? You get 50, she get 50.
Right.
Now you gotta get taxed. So after taxes, you probably got about 36.
God damn.
So y'all got 36 apiece, and y'all don't even last. You just gave her 36,000 for what? I'd rather keep the 100, let my Joan, get taxed or whatever. I'm down to about 68.
Right.
Cool. I got 68. If we work out, this money gonna be invested in us either way.
Facts.
If we don't, I still got my bread. I don't see how I lost.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's exactly why I would come on as an F-boy as well. I feel like playing the game that way, it makes it way more fun. Because you coming in with the intention of just wanting the money, but while you're there, like you form relationships and stuff like that, and shit could change. But I think it's more. For the show specifically, I think it's more rewarding when you come in as an F-boy and you kind of like leave as a refined F-boy. Like, yeah, a nice guy at this point. I think that's a plus on the
when
woman's
you see
end.
someone grow.
Yeah, when you see somebody actually grow.
Oh, I'd make horrible TV. I'm gonna be a piece of shit from the moment I get in there.
But yeah, I mean, to see somebody grow, I think that's way more rewarding, and that's beneficial for like the lady. Like that's being able to say I turned this F-boy into a nice guy. That's pretty cool.
Sure. Believe what you want, as long as I get the bread. Believe whatever you got to make yourself believe.
Nigga two is stupid. All right, so moving on. So this is a tweet that I found on Twitter, and just want to get your thoughts and kind of like your thoughts on the aspect of it and like what you would do and stuff like that. So this female tweeted, "I will never understand interracial dating. Them folks literally had us enslaved for 400 plus years." So obviously, white people, the whites or whatever. But what are your views on like interracial dating? I know we've I think we touched on this briefly before in past episodes.
Have we?
I don't know, but yeah, like,
I don't know, maybe.
What's your thoughts on the tweet? Like, can you understand where she's coming from or not?
Everybody has a preference. Everybody has a choice, and everybody has a right. If that's how she feel, that's how she feel. Mm-hmm. She ain't gotta date nobody white. That's her business.
But for you personally,
for me, I don't give a fuck. Like let me. And this is what I've like. I love Twitter and I hate Twitter at the same time.
Me too.
I love Twitter because Twitter gives everybody a place
to voice their opinion.
Not even just to voice their opinion, but to get their shit off. Mm-hmm. Now, I mean, sometimes you are frustrated. Sometimes you just need to get your shit off. But the problem is, Twitter also gives everybody a place to get their shit off, and some of their shit be dumb.
Yeah.
And I'm not calling her shit dumb. I'm just saying I feel like a lot of people have opinions, but sometimes your opinions don't gotta be to the world. Right. Like, you could think that. Like me. Personally, me. Have I dated outside my race? Absolutely. Do I see myself like marrying outside my race? Not really. Mm-hmm. Not at all, actually. But I don't have a problem with anyone who... in my opinion, people love who they love.
Right.
Whoever you love is who you love. Whoever you want to be with is who you want to be with. And that's on you. Like, I can't judge somebody... I can't judge you for loving somebody who's white because of something from 400 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, understood that was a tragic, horrible, plenty of systemic things in the society that are still based on all these things. But guess what? You still fell in love with that person because that person treats you and make you feel like a queen. So why the hell was that? Why would that bother me?
Right. So going back to you, why you said you don't have a problem with it, but you say you probably don't see yourself doing that, going on that path. Why is that? Is that based off of your experience that you had already, and it's something that you just...
I'm attracted to black women.
Okay,
that's that. It really just comes down to that. You can be attracted to what you're attracted to. To me, it's very few and far between I find white women that I'm attracted to. Mm-hmm. It's very few and far between I find Asian women I'm attracted to. Right. It's very few and far between I find Indian women or whatever other races or cultures you see. It's very few and far between I find people of those ethnicities that I'm attracted to. But I find an abundance of African American women who I'm attracted to. I love black women. Ain't no shade to nobody else. I just love black women.
Nah, facts, me too.
Like one of my boys, my boy Danny, white boy, love him. One of the white boys that grew up in the hood with us. Mm-hmm. Danny loved black women. That's just what it is. That's what he grew up around. That's what he knows. That's his comfort.
Right.
I've never seen Danny date a white girl in my life. And right now he's with his girl. She's black. They have a kid together. Like, that's just what it is for him. And I'm not gonna judge him. Be like, yo, how you gonna be with this black woman? Or look at her like, why would you be with this white? Like,
yeah.
bruh, as long as he's treating you right and he doing right by you, what does that have to do with me?
Right. Agree with you. I have no objections. I was analyzing the tweet because again, she said they had us enslaved for 400 years. To me, when I was reading it and I was kind of analyzing it, it kind of sounds like she was putting that on all white people, you know? And I don't like to do that because although that is true, we did go through slavery. Not every white person embodies that, believes in that, supports that. So my only issue is don't block interracial dating because you're worried about the history behind it. Because again, we're all attracted to different people, but I think there's value in dating other cultures as well because we can all learn from each other. I think that obviously most people want to stay within their race because it's easier, we can relate more, culturally and things of that sort. But also, take that opportunity to want to learn more. Like, if there is something that you can learn from another race, or you really do find this person attractive and they really make you happy and all of that, like, I would just say just go for it. All I'm saying is just don't automatically block it just based off of the history and negative conversations that come with interracial dating and things like that. Like,
I believe that there's a lot we can learn from history. But I don't think as a society we ain't gonna get nowhere until we get past it. Like I'm all with taking lessons from history, taking lessons from the things that have happened. Mm-hmm. But you can't live in those things that have happened and apply them to today. Not to say any of that shit was okay, but it was a different time, a different culture, a different world. We here now. Mm-hmm. Like, take the lessons, learn the lessons, and move on from that shit and build a better world. Right. Like, that's it. Like, I'm not with all that holding on to. I've never. This is me personally. I have never judged a person of any culture or any race based on some other stuff. Mind you, I grew up in a household with a mom who's Jamaican. So I don't care what nobody say when people say black people can't be racist. My mom say some of the most crazy shit,
I'm sure,
about people and other cultures. But I've never been that way. I've never been that way to just judge them based on that. Like, I'm about humans. Mm-hmm. If you're a good human being, I fucks with you. If you're not a good human being, white, black, purple, green, and different, you're a piece of shit and I don't fuck with you. And that's just what it is. You also did not hit shuffle at all, bro. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Let it keep going. I just realized all my songs played in a row. I was like, so I don't think this motherfucker hit shuffle at all.
Oh shit. When you did step outside of your race, did you receive any what type of comments did you receive or like feedback? Did you get any like negative feedback or like eyebrows, like
I dated a Korean girl for a brief little minute. Her parents not happy about that situation. My mom, I know a lot of people have, like, you and Stiz, y'all are like close with your parents. I'm close with my mom. Like, my mama's boy, I do whatever I do for her, but I do not talk to her about my personal life.
Okay.
So my mom don't know about all the stuff to like make a comment. Right. But like her parents found out and that was a issue. But I've had that with black people too. I dated a girl once. She was Haitian. And we were dating and it was cool. I met the mom. The mom was cool with me, loved me, all that. So one day we're sitting in her living room. Me, her, and her mom, we're talking. And her mom goes, wait, so where are you from? And I was like, my father's American, they from down south. He's in Puerto Rican. But my mom is Jamaican. And she turned to her daughter in front of me. This is another black woman, Asian woman. Oh, so you just gonna mess with the Jamaican guy so he could get you pregnant and leave? She said this in my face. And I go, wow. That was aggressive.
Hell yeah. The fuck?
But it is what it is. So I'm like, I've had it on other side. Like I've dated a See, I don't know. I guess Gina was white. I dated a girl named Gina.
Gina was white.
Nah, I dated a girl named Gina for a while. She was Italian and Irish though.
Okay. Interesting.
And that was a very, very brief minute though. But you know, she was one of those people from another race that grew up in the hood with us in the neighborhood. So it wasn't like I needed to relate to her. Besides her being Italian and Irish, she was just another person in the neighborhood. So it wasn't a weird thing. I mean, I don't know if she ever had problems with that, but I've experienced negativity from other coaches. I've experienced negativity from my own people. That's when I started to realize you just gonna have to love who you love.
Right. I agree.
What about you? You ever had any experiences outside your race?
I dated a Polish chick, and
my man Dre had fun. I dated a Polish chick. I ain't dated a Polish chick, but I had some fun with a Polish chick.
Yeah. She
They
I'm gonna say this. She let me do whatever I want.
I was about to say that. You had some fun, my brother.
So I'm gonna just leave
I
it
know you had some fun.
Yeah, that was a fun time. But yeah,
This was college, I assume.
Nah, not even. High school. High school.
Throw it back as 87 years ago.
Back when I was riding my bike. But yeah, I was dating her. Not much like negative backlash per se from people on the outside. Like people in school was like cool with it. Like we wasn't getting like no weird looks or nothing like that. Like we
Can
was
I ask
good.
you a question? Do you think that was because of the way you were? Like I'm assuming where you were. You were in PA at the time, right?
Yeah, PA.
So like where you were was probably. You think that was just like a kind of a more integrated area?
Yes, absolutely.
And that kind of played a.
Definitely, yeah. The culture there was definitely like that. That's something that was viewed as norm. You would see that a lot. But the issue came from her parents, actually. So, like, when I used to call like, the house phone or whatever, I don't know why she ain't, now that I'm thinking about it, she ain't have a cell phone at the time. But I had to call the house phone or whatever. But basically, like, whenever her pops picked up whenever her moms picked up the phone, it was cool. Like, she'll give her the phone or whatever. Like, oh, Dre's on the phone, want to speak to you, da-da-da. Whenever her dad picked up the phone, he always had an attitude. And he used to straight up tell me, like, this ain't happening. Like,
Can I
your
ask
pops
you
work at the barbershop?
Can I ask you another question?
Yeah.
Do you think it was a black thing, or do you think it was more of a this is my daughter and I'm not ready for her to be dating thing?
Well, no, I asked because I had to clarify, because that would be the first thing I would think. Like, is it that's a norm? Like, I'm gonna probably do that when I have a daughter eventually and stuff like that. I'm gonna be very protective. So I had to clarify, like, do you think it's because I'm black? And she was like, yeah, like, this ain't gonna probably work out long term. Like, and you know, she started saying like, yo, you can't call this certain time because he'll be home and stuff like that. So I kind of saw like, yo, this is gonna get hard. Even though like I wasn't, like, at the time I wasn't trying to take it serious by any means, or didn't think that we were going like to the moon and the stars, but like I was just having a good time with her at the time. But she made it seem like this is gonna be a problem because this is not really his preference or what the direction he thought I would go in terms of like dating and stuff like that.
And being a young man at the time, how did that make you feel? Like, how did you internalize that?
Well, it made me feel like shit. You know, it made me instantly think, okay, I'm not good enough for your daughter because of my skin color and things like that. So like that's stuff that, again, I internalized because that's not a conversation that like I brought to my parents and stuff like that at the time. I didn't feel comfortable like talking about my sex life and my dating life at that time. So I couldn't really talk to them. My friends were just being all jokey about it and all of that. But
do you think that made you harbor some sort of resentment or negative feelings about dating outside of your race going forward?
Yeah, I would say so. Like now that we're unpacking it and everything, I guess that's definitely something that stuck with me from that time till now. And now I have like a big issue when I hear certain things said. I had a friend that at the job a female that's like, I'm only dating black men. I would never date outside my race. They have nothing to offer me and stuff like that. And it's just like, damn, like, hold on, take a step back. Like, you could learn something from everybody. Like, everybody has value and stuff like that. And that's the only thing I'm trying to get across. Like, I'm not saying like go date outside your race. If black is your preference and all of that, then do that. Be happy. I just want people to be happy, but I also want people to not limit themselves and kind of set these barriers just due to different social norms and stuff like that. But I definitely do think that experience has shaped who I am now and kind of how like I view certain things.
Yeah, that's kind of how what you gotta do, bro. Like that's my. I agree with you in the sense of that's my only goal. My only goal is, again, everyone is entitled to their preference. You can like black women, you can like white women, you can like Spanish women, you can like tall women, you can like short women, like fat women, like skinny women. You can like whatever the fuck you want. It's the same. I remember a while ago on the podcast we had a thing. We were talking about music, and I was saying, and I will apply the same thing to people. You can like what you like without having to put down everything else.
Right.
And that's where people get this shit messed up. No one is mad that you saying you like what you like. Everyone gets mad. See what she said? I would never date a white man. If she left it there, no problem.
No problem.
When you go, they got nothing to offer, or they not like you don't gotta put them down.
Yeah, it's like hold on.
And vice versa. If a white person was to say the same thing, like I would never date a black woman. That's your right. Cool.
Fine.
But when you start saying negative stuff and other things after that is where the problem lies. And I think that's what it goes to everything. You do not have to belittle something to promote what you want.
Exactly.
Like what you like. Who gives a shit?
Mm-hmm. Word. Jumping around again. All right, so you said earlier, that's kind of answered the first part of the question, but all right, well, now how are with your family now? Like, are you close with your family now, or is it still kind of like?
I mean, I love my mom to death. I'm a mama's boy. I don't. Again, I still don't talk to her about my personal business. Like until like a relationship is serious and like I've been with this girl for a while, I'll introduce her to my moms. But outside of that, like I don't just tell my mom about every girl I date. Like it's just not me. And I understand. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with people that do that. You know, that's y'all relationship. It's just not me and my mom relationship.
Okay.
And my dad, I haven't spoken to him in like 8 years. So I don't know.
So your mom. So you would go to bat for your mom. I'm guessing, like
100%.
Like any situation.
Yeah, I've went to bat with for my moms against my pops, which is part of the reason why me and him don't speak.
Okay. Is there a limit to like what you're doing now? And I'm only again talking about like my personal experience and stuff that's been going on in my life. So, recently, like 2 people in my family, they got locked up for whatever reason, doing what they doing. Mm-hmm. But, at what we obviously. We grow up with our family. We love our family. We learn from our family and stuff like that. We're close to different family members within the family and stuff like that. Where do you draw the line in a situation where you kind of like have to go to bat for your family member? You got to back them up. Like, what is the hard line for you where it's like, okay, I don't want to be involved in this. Like, and like, I guess... As a recent example, I just saw Tiana Wallace. She just put her home up for her boyfriend.
She's wild.
Yeah.
I saw that video. She's crazy. Homie would have just had to sit in jail.
And that's why I'm asking. I'm like, was that too much in your opinion? Like, because we have the video proof or whatever. We saw what happened.
Like,
heinous
shit. For me, heinous shit. Like I'm willing to ride with you for some bullshit or whatever, or like have your back or whatever. Like, cause again, growing up in the environment we grow up in, certain things I can understand. Like if a family member, again, even with my pops, my pops got locked up for 10 years for selling cocaine. My pops, me and my pops' issues came from shit that happened when he came home. But I never held a grudge against my pops for going to jail. You was doing what you had to do. You was taking care of my mom's family, taking care of your family. You was doing what you... Like, I understand being from an environment where you feel like you have no other way to provide, and this is what you do to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. So I'm never gonna judge nobody for feeling like they had to do what they had to do. My problem is when you just do some shit that's like there's no justification for it. Like, you know, some type of like sexual assault. Brother, you on your own. Cause now there's something wrong with you. You need help. Mm-hmm. I don't want to sound like a hypocrite because I want to use the word specific senseless murder. Yeah. Because I feel like everybody got the right to defend themselves. Some shit may happen and you might have to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
Also, I how do I word this without sounding like an asshole? I've been a part of situations where it was like people tried to get at us, so we had to get back at y'all. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying that was right or okay, but I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can be like, I can hold you down in that. But if you just going out there hurting people just to hurt people, that's crazy. Right. That I can't stand for.
So I'm with you. I need to understand the why behind your decision. And if I deem the why to be valid or I can understand, I can level with you, then I'll go to bat for you. I'll do everything I can to support you to kind of make your situation better. But as you said, like a senseless murder, like if there was no thought behind this and you just did some shit just to do some shit, then I got questions and I really can't help you. And that Tiana situation is crazy. Like, it's only I only view it as really crazy because I actually know her. Like, I went to school or whatever, so I've been in her presence. Like, that's my friend. So I can kind of put myself in her shoes and understand what she's going to. They just had a kid together. So I know she's thinking about that. And this guy facing 25 years. So, like, I understand her.
I'll tell you right now, he ain't facing. He getting them years.
I mean, I pray. I honestly
there
pray.
Ain't a facing in that.
I honestly pray for the best, and I maybe.
Oh no, prayers to everyone involved. But what I promise you is, when that video get played in court,
that sucks,
his ass is going to jail.
That sucks. But yeah, now I was just thinking about that because going into our next thing, I want to ask you a little bit advice or whatever. But like, I'm thinking about like my kids and how I'm gonna raise them, and in certain situations that they're gonna be involved in and stuff like that. You know, getting in the cars with people that you think and then they got something going on. Maybe they got a gun in the car. Now you get caught up in all of that. It's like how many times can those instances happen to the point where it's like, enough is enough. Like, I can't do nothing for you. Like,
with your kid?
Yeah. Like, cause your kid is a whole different ballgame.
I'm
obviously
partial to that. Only cause when I look back at how many goddamn situations I put myself in that I was just lucky to get out of. Like, I've been the nigga in a car, trunk full of whatever that would get us locked up, whether it be weapons or drugs or whatever. I've been the nigga that just been in a car with a bunch of niggas going to do some crazy shit, and I didn't even know we was going to do that. Mm-hmm. And whatever happened. Like, I've put myself in those scenarios, so I would feel like shit judging my child for making those same mistakes, because the only difference would be is they got caught and I didn't.
Right.
I guess what I would spend my time doing is trying to level with my child to let them understand, like, I literally have been here.
Yeah.
I've literally done the same things. I literally just didn't get caught. And I would hope after the first or second instance, like, they understand, and because my thing is, I can understand you having an act. I can understand something happening out of your control, but that doesn't negate the consequences that are going to come with it.
Right.
And as your parent, I'm going to allow you to experience these consequences because I want you to see going forward, I love you. I'm going to ride with you. I'm going to be here for you. But if the consequences come, I'm going to let you face those consequences head on, because you need to know that there are repercussions to your actions.
Yeah. Well said. All right, too. So been around like I got a lot of like babies around me lately. A lot of my brothers expecting kids and stuff like that. Some of them already had their kids and
You about to get lined up, Dre. You about to get lined up, bro. You done been to one too many baby showers.
Yo, what was your experience like going through the actual pregnancy? Like those 9 months, what was those 9 months like?
I didn't. I don't know if I've explained that situation on the podcast before. I think I did early on, but I didn't. I found out about my daughter later.
Oh, okay. Oh no, I actually remember.
Yeah, so
okay.
I didn't. I was actually a little upset because I kind of felt like I got robbed of those experiences. But you know, whatever.
Definitely.
It is what it is now.
Okay.
It's all love now.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy about that. I'm gonna just say that the men around me that are expecting right now, that's going through the whole process, they are stressed as hell, and they just seem unhappy like 24/7. Like we went out to a lounge this weekend, and it's like my boy just busted out and just didn't know how to act. Not like, he wasn't like acting a fool, like doing what he's not supposed to do, but you could just visibly tell like he was just happy.
He needed that.
Yeah, just to be around, and he just telling me about you gotta cater to this, you gotta cater to that. Their weight gonna get a little different. You gotta make sure that you lift them up at all times and all that. I'm like, damn, this seemed like a whole nother job, bro. Like,
I may not have had it for my kid, but I've been through it. Like I'm the oldest child on my mom's side, so I've literally been next to my mom through all her pregnancies. Mm-hmm. I've had some complicated situations in my life, so I've been around women pregnant before. That's not like a new thing to me. So, but what they saying is true. Like you gotta you have to. If patience ain't your strong suit, it will become your strong suit.
Okay. Well, I'm a patient ass nigga, so I think I may be fine, but I doubt it.
Nah, I think you'll be fine if you have a kid. Again, it's just what a lot of women don't understand is that they think and they feel, and they have the right to, by the way. I want to say they have the right to. They think and they feel that they're the ones who are going through that because their body is changing. There's a life growing inside them, and they're bonding and connecting with that baby. And they feel like I'm the one who's doing all of this. You know what I'm saying? And they have that right to feel that way. But they don't realize, like, I could tell you this as a father, like, connecting with the baby, you ain't gonna connect to that baby until that baby get here.
Okay.
Women connect with that baby while it's growing inside of them.
Right.
We connect with the baby once the baby's actually here. Mm-hmm. But what they don't realize is during the pregnancy is our mind, like, you're literally changing from I am a dude who has to take care of me, or depending on, like, if you have a fiance, whatever, I'm taking care of my girl. I have a life to support.
Right.
I have someone I have to be here for the rest of their life. Like, these are the things your mind is going through. Like, you start putting a lot of things in perspective.
Yeah.
Like, me finding out I had a daughter was the reason why I stepped very far away from the life I was living when I was, like, in the street bugging. Mm. Because my whole thing was, as much as I understood my father being locked up, I never wanted to not be here for my kid.
Yeah.
So that made me adjust my life a lot to make sure I'm in a position to where I can support her and still not put myself in a situation where I could be taken away from her at anything. So like, most of the changes you're gonna go through and most of the things the growing you're gonna do is gonna be mental. Mm-hmm. It's gonna be your thought, your outlook on things. A lot of that stuff will change.
Gotcha. Looking forward to it.
So you trying to tell me something?
Yo, no time soon. Nothing going on. But, just been noticing it's around me a lot lately.
2023, so man.
Getting a weird feeling, But
I'll tell y'all right now, when Dre girl pregnant, he ain't gonna never be on this podcast. he is never coming here.
Facts.
Them last 3 months, we ain't even gonna see him.
Know that. I had two more questions, but I'm gonna save the other one from like a bigger audience, like when we all three here strong. So my last question to you, like, we talked about a lot What's one societal norm that you would change if you had the chance to?
A societal norm.
Or like a rule or something, like, just
One societal norm, and I don't know if this is a societal norm. I don't know what I would classify this as, but if it's one thing could change, in my opinion, there are way too many people who risk their lives, who are veterans, who are on the street. I feel like anyone who fought for this country should never have to worry about anything again for the rest of their lives. Now, granted, this is coming from somebody who's biased in that perspective. I spent some time in the Army National Guard, so I have a different feel for this.
Right.
But I definitely don't feel like someone who was in the military and protected their country or served their country or whatever should have to come home and now have to figure out, damn, I need to find a job, or I need to be able to have a way to pay my mortgage, or I need to find somewhere I'm gonna eat. Like, that is a problem, and then they wonder why people don't want to enlist willingly,
right?
And they have to do all these incentives of like extra money and bonuses and this and the third to get people to join up. It's like, take care of your people. That's something, if I had the power to change, I would change.
I agree. I mean, I think overall the homeless community, we just have a problem with that across the board, and I do feel like that needs to change. I do feel like we have the well, I don't know. I'm not involved, and I'm not that knowledgeable.
Bro, we're sending billions of dollars to other countries.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. Like,
I'm not a politician. I don't know the ins and outs of that.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if we got the resources to send billions of dollars to another country who's going through a hard time, I feel like we should have at least half of that money to figure out this homeless issue in our own country.
Exactly.
Personally.
Yeah, personally. So yeah, I agree with you on that. If there was one thing that I could change that I feel like could fix a lot with like the way we think and our psyche and stuff like that, I will remove the concept of age, because it's like the concept of age. They tell you, okay, about 30, you should be married, you should be starting your family, you should have a house, you should have a well-paying job and stuff like that.
So not the concept of age,
not
the connotations that come with age.
That come with
I was
age.
about to say, I don't think it's a slippery slope to get rid of age, because I'm pretty sure R. Kelly got rid of that in his mind, and he is chilling over there.
Yeah, I mean, them marks that come with certain ages and stuff that I would remove.
But I get what you're saying. Like the whole thing was like people should have a kid by this age, people should buy their house by this age, and this and that. Yeah, I understand. I feel like those are different stereotypes and those are different things that happen in different cultures. Because I've learned in like other cultures, it's perfectly okay for like the kids to be in the house today like freaking 30, and there's other cultures where it's like
somebody was saying today, like, for real, when people tell you like stay in your parents' crib as long as you can and stack your bread, like, nah, for real, do that. Like, you may get looked at kind of weird, like, oh, you still living in your parents' basement, but those really be like the smart people that end up coming out on top.
As a person who's lived on my own since I was 17, I wish I could have stayed in my parents' house.
See what I'm talking about?
I wish I could have. You know how much more money I would have?
Exactly. Imagine how. And you turned out great, bro. You turned out great, but
I mean, there's a lot of work I gotta do.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, it's crazy. Like when I tell people that all the time. Like, I dated a girl. We're still friends to this day. She still lives with my mom. She's 33. Still lives with my mom. And she's like, why am I moving unless I have to?
Right.
And I completely understand that. That's fair, because it's like, who wants to leave that just to go and in an instant quadruple your monthly expenditures?
Right.
That's crazy.
Legit. But yeah, man, that's all I got. We really wanted to come in here and make this one quick, to be honest with y'all. That's all I really got, man. Got anything?
Nah, man. Just, just to touch on what we said earlier, man, just try and be a good human being and judge people for being good human beings, not the color of their skin, not where they're from, not who they grew up with. if they're a good person. Good people should take care of good people. Fuck all the rest of them.
Yeah,
That's
man.
how I feel.
Just know you offer something of value. Everybody does.
Absolutely. But we want to hear from y'all and all that other stuff. So here's the thing .pod on Instagram, SHTT pod on Facebook and Twitter. And if the social media thing ain't your thing, so here's the thing at yahoo.com. That's the email.
Yeah, as always, man, check us out. The video footage on YouTube, subscribe, like, all of that. So here's the thing. Podcast. Then we're available on all audio platforms, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, all that. So here's the thing. It's your boy Steeler.
Yo, it's 2. We out of here.